turbine-powered cars, PCs that'll fit in your pocket, and Nissan's new Titan XD. I'm John P. Welcome to Geek Beat. Last week, Carter and I headed over to the Texas State Fair to check out the new auto lineup, and although there are a lot of new vehicles coming out that are super nice, there were two that really caught our eye. First up, the all-new Nissan Titan XD. It comes with a 5-liter Cummins turbo diesel that makes 310 horsepower and a whopping 550 pound-foot of torque, which should make towing up to the 12,000 pound limit a whole lot easier. Of course, the integrated removable gooseneck hitch that comes standard is also going to open up a whole new range of possibilities for people like me who have never stepped up to a 2500 series pickup truck. The new Titan XD slots right in between traditional 1500 and 2500 size truck lines. Now, I know a lot of people have wanted to buy a truck with tons of towing capacity that they're only going to use occasionally, but they didn't want to have to buy a huge F-250 or some other heavy-duty truck that they'd be stuck driving every day. And that's where the XD fits in. I haven't driven it yet, but when they're available, we'll do a full review and let you know how it goes. The fully loaded Titan XD should begin appearing during Q4 at dealers across the US, so get your checkbooks ready. Also on display at the State Fair, Chrysler had a museum-quality Chrysler Turbine on display. Back in the 60s, Chrysler built just 50 of these prototype turbine-powered cars, and they actually put them in the hands of drivers across the US on 3-month loans. Everyone seemed to love them. They thought this was going to be the future of transportation, but alas, it was not to be. The turbine that powered the car would spin up to 44,500 RPMs, burning just about anything you wanted to pour in the tank. Diesel fuel, unleaded, kerosene, jet fuel, vegetable oil. According to Chrysler, the turbine could gulp everything from peanut oil to Chanel No. 5. And the president of Mexico tested the theory by running one of the first cars on tequila. Although that seems like a good waste of tequila to me. We managed to capture a little video when they fired up the turbine, and here's what it sounded like. Moving on, someone recently told me they needed a really tiny computer they could carry around to use occasionally on emergencies. But they needed a full Windows operating system, so they asked me for a recommendation. Well, in those cases, your best bet is currently an Intel Compute Stick. For about $130, you get a little stick that can fit in a purse or pocket that packs a quad-core processor, 32 gigs of storage, 2 gigs of RAM, a USB port, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 4.0, mini USB for power, pre-installed Windows 8.1, and a micro SD card slot. And yes, it can be successfully upgraded to Windows 10. The Compute Stick literally gives you an entire PC that you just plug into an HDMI port on any TV or monitor and turn it into a personal computer. Just bring a portable keyboard and mouse. By the way, I'll have links in the show notes at geekbeat.tv/1105. Since you're taking a tiny computer everywhere, why not pair it up with a Zuda Labs Pocket Printer? The Pocket Printer is more of a robot than a printer, if you ask me. Basically, you drop this little guy on a piece of paper and it drives around and prints things out for you. The good news is it has a rechargeable battery and will print from a PC or even a smartphone. It'll print about a page a minute and go for an hour, so I guess around 60 pages per charge. And $200 is actually a reasonable price. The bad news is you'll have to pre-order it, and at this point, wait until next year to get your hands on one. The unknown news is, what are the ink cartridges going to cost? Because they're only good for about 100 pages each. That's it for this episode of Geek Beat. And if you ever want to see Emma or Gabriella again, you're going to have to head over to geekbeat.tv/patron and pay the ransom. Like a few bucks each month is all it takes. What can I say? We're cheap. I'm John P. See you next time.